here to who you are. Look at you. Look at you. Don't look at past tense you. And you say, it's hard. It's hard not to notice what I'm translating with my physical senses. And we say, then be picky about what you translate. Look into what you're looking at for the best that you can see. Find vibrational equivalent in what is now by your physical terms to what is now by your non-physical terms. Did you get that? In other words, be specific, be picky about the way you look. Look for what feels good. Look for things to compliment. Look for things to appreciate. Look for things to rave about, enjoy. Look for things to express your positive awareness of. Look for things to be optimistic about. And in doing so, you make peace with what is. And only in making peace with what is do you allow what really is. You follow? So in order for anything that we say really to make sense to you, there are some premises that you must at least try to accept. Do you accept that you were source energy and therefore vibration and therefore not flesh, blood, and bone before you were born? Do you accept that that non-physical part of you that existed before you were born exists even now that you are in this physical body? So do you accept that a part of that consciousness equals the spirit or soul of that which is you, but the larger part of you remains as that which you call God, non-physically focused? Do you accept that the contrast of this time-space reality helps you to personally, individually, selfishly identify your own preferences? Do you accept that when you know what you don't want, that's the very best time for you to know what you do want? And do you accept that whether you speak it or not, it emanates from you vibrationally? And do you accept that source knows what you mean? When you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And here's an important thing. Do you accept that source who is pure positive energy, who is only positively oriented, who is always in the vortex? When you know what you don't want and therefore know what you do want, do you trust that the source part of you holds to the I know what I do want part? Do you accept that when you feel negative emotion that it means every single time that you have deviated from what source knows? So if source loves and you find some reason to hate, do you understand that the emotion that you feel is separation, too strong of word, but that you're messing up the vibration, you're deviating from the pure vibration of the love that is you? Do you understand that when you feel insecure, that it just means that you're looking at whatever you're looking at that's making you feel insecure in a way that source does not ever look? So do you accept that since you have emotions that let you know when you're in sync with who you are or not, that your emotions are really, 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 really good guidance? Would you rather tune yourself to all that you are, or to your teacher, to your mother, to your peer group? In other words, there's a lot of pressure on some of you. In other words, because your gut says do something different and somebody else is saying do it this way, I know better. You must feel that a lot as physical beings trying to fit in your effort at socialization. And you wanted to socialize, you wanted to co-create. We're not encouraging you to get off to yourself where you only have one voice to hear, which is coming forth from within you. What we are encouraging is that you make this alignment with who you are your top priority, and that you do something about that every day so that you are tuned to the frequency of your best well-being. And then as you're moving about, you can feel if something is off based upon the intentions for thriving and well-being that you hold. This is a seminar based upon the most powerful law in the universe, law of attraction. But we orient it toward what we call the art of allowing. Because when you are keenly aware of how you feel, then you're aware of your guidance, which lets you know whether you're in vibrational alignment in this moment with your furthest most expansion, or whether you're in alignment with the reason for the expansion. That's interesting. So often you'll want something, life shows you want it. Jerry and Esther have been having an experience recently where their life experience has shown them something that they want. And Esther has been laughing because she keeps coming back to justifying why she wants it by pointing out what's missing here. And she catches herself doing it over and over again, and then she remembers, I don't have to explain anything to anybody. I don't have to justify or rationalize, but there is a tendency to want to explain why you want it as if you don't deserve whatever it is that you want, because you're worried about how it might look to someone else. What might they think if I do what pleases me? They might ridicule me if I do what pleases me. And we say, you got to leave all of them who might ridicule you out of your equation and do what pleases you, because after all, if life has caused you to expand and you don't take the expansion, you cannot feel joy. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. There is nothing that is off limits here. It is our desire to help this vortex of creation become as vivid and real to you as what you see with your eyes or hear with your ears. We want you to feel the integrity, the reality of this vibrational reality. We want you to leave this gathering ready to tune yourself to it. We want you to leave here determined to get into the vortex and then place the telephone call, to get into the vortex and then get into your car and drive somewhere, to get into the vortex and then do anything that you are about in terms of your action. Because when you take the time to tune yourself vibrationally into alignment with all that you are, now you have the resources, you have the source energy that creates worlds backing you up. And feeling all of that flowing through you toward your object of attention, toward your plans, toward your goal, toward your day, toward your creation. To be in sync with this powerful energy is a leverage that you all have tasted, that many of you know well, that you will never be happy, not really happy, unless you are in sync with. You can create in mediocre terms through your action, and even through some of your hardship and struggle. But it is not the way you intended to create. You intended to let life help you choose and then line up with the resources that make it so. And that's the point of this gathering. The art of allowing myself to be, have, and do all that this life has inspired for me. You don't need to worry about the non-physical part of you. We are getting ours. In other words, all you have to do is dream it a little, and we're living it. Your dream becomes our present tense reality. We just stand there living your dream, which is our present tense reality. And when you feel for the vibe of that, you'll feel the joy, you'll feel the bliss. And if you will follow, lean in the direction of that, you'll get there. So if you're feeling revenge, and earlier you were feeling despair, you're moving in the right direction. If you were feeling frustration and now you feel revenge, you're moving in the wrong direction. If you were really, really angry and now you're less angry, you're moving in the right direction. If you were pessimistic and now you're hopeful, you're moving in the right direction. If you're angry and then hopeful, you're moving in the right direction. If you're hopeful and then believing, you're moving in the right direction. If you're believing and then knowing, you're moving in the right direction. If you're in despair, you can't get further from who you really are. That's why despair feels like despair. Despair is the emptying out of you. It's the disallowance of you. It's disempowerment. Joy and empowerment are synonymous. Despair and disempowerment, powerlessness, are synonymous. So as you begin to feel your way up and down this emotional scale, you'll begin to get a handle. You'll begin to find the guidance within you that is always stable and sure.